Hey guys, it's Michelle from Our Everyday Places, and today I am going to be reviewing my first Disney cruise. Recently, my family and I sailed on the Disney Fantasy right out of Port Canaveral in Florida. It was a 7-night cruise, so we hit up Jamaica, we did Cozumel in Mexico, we did Grand Cayman, and then a stop at Disney's private island, Castaway Cay. So to review my first cruise with Disney, I'm gonna break it down into a few categories. My husband and I have sailed on Norwegian and Royal Caribbean, so we do kind of factor that in when we're looking at the different categories. My kids, this was their first cruise, so they don't know any better, and they think that this is just the cat's meow. Our stateroom was a deluxe veranda room. Apparently there's like 2 different types. There's like a family style one, which gives you a little bit more room and an extra bed that comes down from like a closet. Ours was just the deluxe one, the standard veranda room. It did have a sitting space. It did have a sleeping space. Love the split bathroom design because 2 people could get ready at the same time. Having kids and having a tub in your room was like clutch. It was amazing. That's just how the kids are used to getting a bath, sitting in the tub and even washing their hair. Having the detachable shower head was a big plus for us. So, I mean, these aren't things that are going to stop me from sailing on another cruise line, but there's certainly like incentives to want to do Disney again. Disney, I find, for families anyway, they literally think of everything. So there's a lot of detail, a lot of attention to detail that you may not see on other cruise lines. The room comfortably slept the 4 of us. We pulled the little bunk beds down from the ceiling, which my kids like loved. Our stateroom host was fantastic. Every night he would pull it down for us while we were at dinner, and then in the mornings or when we came back from an excursion, it would just go up into the ceiling. That really helped to work the space a bit better because the bed wasn't always out during times when we were actually in the room and awake. Disney, as far as I know, is the only cruise line that does the rotational dining. Rotational dining pretty much means that you're going to move around these 3 restaurants each night. You're going to have the same waiters and the same like host, dining room host. So you really get to know them. Like we knew our waiters and servers by the end of the cruise. They knew that I like Diet Coke with lemon. They knew that my kids just make a mess at the dinner table. When we sat down, the drink was already there. Like the high chair for my daughter was there. We didn't have to say much. They got it. They really got it. They knew that I like my steak a certain way. They were just great in that way. So you're not going to find that, I feel, on other cruise lines. You will find good service, like your waiters and wait staff will be great on other cruise lines. When we were on Norwegian, we were like, these guys are great. Royal Caribbean, fantastic service. But the personalization and the feeling like you're home vibe that Disney gives is different. So each night you go to a different restaurant that has a different theme, that has a different menu. Of course, at every restaurant, you're gonna find something for the picky eaters or people who just wanna keep it simple. You're on a diet and I don't feel like eating all that rah, right? So they have a steak option, they have a fish option, they have a chicken, and they have vegetarian options too, which is great for my husband, who is what I call a vegan. He is a fake vegan. But for whatever your dietary needs may be, I find that all of the restaurants are more than willing to accommodate you. So we did Royal Court, Enchanted Garden, and Animator's Palette. My favorite was Animator's Palette. It just had so much more entertainment for the kids. It was highly themed. We got to make our own little cartoon, like design our own cartoon, which was a highlight for the kids and for us. For breakfast, we did cabanas a few times, but we also tried out the Royal Court breakfast, which is included in the cost of your ticket. So the Royal Court is one of the rotational dining restaurants on the cruise ship. They have a breakfast in the morning, which is of a much better quality than Cabanas. Cabanas isn't bad, but Royal Court I mean, that waffle was like the fluffiest waffle I've ever eaten. It was really good. So while you're on the boat, if you are sailing on the Fantasy, make sure to check out the Royal Court's breakfast, even if you just do it once, just to give yourself some variety, one, and two, have a little bit more of an elevated breakfast experience. So aside from the rotational dining options and the buffet, you also have some other quick service options upstairs near the pool. So they have a pizza option, they have some sandwiches if you wish, burgers and fries, chicken tenders that everybody raves about. I tried them. To me, another controversial statement, they were nice. They were like basic chicken tenders, which are always good. Were they something that I would write home about? No, but to each their own. For me, they were just like regular chicken tenders. Good, but not great. But what was great was the place next door that had those tuna wraps and the fruit option. It's just like a lighter offering instead of French fries and chicken tenders. I love that little joint. That place was good. They also have ice cream, unlimited, as much as you want. My kids and my husband like the banana, strawberry, and mango. I was traditional and just did chocolate vanilla. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have, right? The kids, that was like their little treat almost every day. Also included are your drinks. So you're gonna have a full choice of Coca-Cola products. You also got coffee and tea included in the price. And I know other cruise lines that is not included. Is that gonna be more money than the actual price of a Disney Cruise Line ticket? Probably not, but hey, it's included, so drink up. There are also little cafes throughout the cruise ship. There's the Cove Cafe, there's a juice bar in the spa, and there's also like a little coffee place where you can pick up some sweets and things right there on the deck 5. I think it's called Vista Cafe or Vista Cafe. They have little treats as well. I did not know this. This is a little tip. The coffee and the beverages at Vista Cafe is not free. You have to pay for those additional, but the little treats there are complimentary. So go to these places and get your little treats. Did not know that, and I found out once I got off the cruise. So when we go back, your girl's gonna hit that place up and be like, yo, where's my treat? All right, now moving on to a more elevated dining experience. There are 2 adult-only restaurants on the Fantasy, so you have Palo and Remy. We did not try Remy because of my husband's diet. We felt that, and I'm sure they would have accommodated us, but we just felt that he wouldn't have eaten that much. So why waste our money? We did go to Palo. Mind you, I have to say, everyone raves about Remy. And by everyone, I mean foodies. The foodies in my life that I know and the foodies that I've watched on YouTube have nothing but good things to say about Remy, which is why I actually wanted to go. And I'll consider going next time, maybe by myself, to try it out. But we did do Palo's brunch. Palo's brunch. Just, it knocked it out of the park, okay? Their omelets, I don't like eggs like that. Like, I won't make eggs for breakfast. Scrambled eggs, fried eggs, not my thing. But Palo's egg and cheese omelet was next level. I still dream about that omelet. The fact that it was so fluffy and just perfect. So where I'm from, we actually put ketchup on our eggs, which I've been told is kind of weird, but I do it. My whole family does it. Everyone I know does it. So we're not weird. Anyway, we put ketchup on our eggs. This omelet did not need ketchup. It didn't need salt. It didn't need pepper. It just needed to be consumed by me. It was fantastic. I would go back to Palo brunch for this omelet only. But there were other things there that were just as good, like that chicken parm. I could write a story, a love letter about the chicken parm. We also tried the pizza, which was incredible. I could have eaten at Apollo every night. Like the brunch, just sign me up. It was great. My husband loved his food. I love my food. I'm going to go back on a Disney cruise ship just to hit Apollo and eat that omelet. Eat it, because it's good. The pool situation on the Fantasy. So there's several little pools throughout. There's the Donald pool and the Mickey pool. And then they have an adult pool and then hot tub area. The pools are small. For the amount of people on the boat, you're just not going swimming with all those people. Like, there's not enough space in this pool for thousands of people. But you can find times that best suit you. So if you don't mind a crowded pool area, then go on a sea day. If you do like to be alone or not many people, go early in the morning or a day in a port where you're not going out on an excursion. What we did was, on the day for Cayman Island, we came back super early and hit up the pool and the aqueduct, which we'll get to in a second. We would also go later at night when people might be like just finishing dinner, and we would go early in the morning as soon as we got up on sea days, because the crowds and when I think about what's actually in that water, it just freaks me out. Like, and I'm not just talking about bodily fluids. I mean like sunscreen, it's gross, right? It's gross. Disney, I'm sure, does their best to filter those pools. They do have people coming out every now and then to clean, because make no mistake about it, this boat is clean. Like, they clean it really well, but I'm just like a germaphobe, I guess. So find times that work for you and what your preference is. So my kids did the Mickey pool. For my son, who can actually swim, he found the Mickey pool to be a little bit limiting because it's very shallow, and I'm pretty sure it's for insurance reasons, because Disney don't want to be the one to say a passenger drowned on their boat. So Disney's pools are not deep. The Mickey one wasn't deep. The Donald pool, I think, was like 4 feet, maybe 5. So that one was more adult focused, I guess. It's still a family pool, like anybody can go in, but it was a little bit deeper than the Mickey pool. The Mickey pool was great for my 4-year-old. I never had to worry about her. They do have life vests there if you want to use them, but she certainly did not need it. They also had a Mickey slide, which I believe the cutoff age for that is like 12 years old. It's a really nice slide. My kids did that quite a bit. They also have a splash area for the children. It's called Nemo's Reef. My daughter spent a lot of time there. It's quite slippery, so be careful. But yeah, the children enjoy that, and it's great for toddlers and babies and adults, because I got sprayed by Nemo while I was in there. And now for the aqueduct, which was my son and I's favorite water experience. The aqueduct is, I don't want to say a roller coaster, but it's a big water slide that goes around the whole cruise ship. You get beautiful views when you're in there. It doesn't go super fast, but it does have a bit of a thrill for, young kids and those who are young at heart. So yeah, we did the aqueduct often. The wait lines were long. Let's be honest, sometimes like half hour to 45 minutes, but we found times when it would be less people. We came back from Castaway Cay Day a bit early, and the line was like 10 minutes. So that would be a great time to go. Always check on the app what time the slides and pools are gonna open, because not every day is the same schedule, and sometimes when they're in port they open a bit later, so they'll open like in the afternoon. So always check, just so that you don't have a disappointment. The kids club, my children's favorite thing about the Disney cruise ship. My advice to you would be to use the kids club. If you have kids, use it. It's called the Oceaneers Club and the Oceaneers Lab. I'll be honest, at first I was hesitant to send my kids because I just didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how safe they would be there. And as a mom that's, overprotective, I just didn't want my kids to be in there. Not without me anyway. So we did the open house to have a look at the spaces and activities. My kids immediately gravitated to it. They're like, we want to come here, we want to come here. I'm like, yeah, you'll come when I come. But by day 3, I was like, do you guys want to go to the kids club? If that's where you want to go, then off you go. Yeah, by day 3 at sea, I had had enough and I needed a break. Mama wanted to go to the spa. So I sent my kids to the kids club, and that was the best decision. They had the best time. They never wanted to leave. I felt really good about it because they have these wristbands that are secure. The kids can't take them off. They know where the kids are. When I go to pick them up, I have to give a secret password. And if anything, if they ever wanted to leave, they send you a message through the app to come pick your kids up. I never got a message because my children never wanted to leave, but they have that option. I saw kids there when I was picking up my own kids who were like, can you call my mom? Can you call my dad? And they were more than happy to do so. The staff there were phenomenal with the kids. I'm telling you, if I could say one thing about the kids club on the Disney Cruise Line is to use it. Disney is an entertainment company, right? Like that's their jam, that's their specialty. They know what they're doing. They've perfected their craft, right? So there's tons to do, even though the boats may not be, the Fantasy isn't as big as like, you know, Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas, right? It's just not as big of a boat, but they throw a big punch in terms of entertainment on board. They have dance parties that just randomly pop up. They have Pirate Night, which is iconic. So we heard about Pirate Night. We didn't really know that Pirate Night was like, whew, Pirate Night? Like everybody comes dressed up like Jack Sparrow? We did not know that. So we had the bandanas that they gave out, the headbands, and that was it. But we still stood in line and took pictures because we wanted, you know, to remember the moment. But next time we are coming ready. I'm getting my costumes for me and the kids and my hubby, and we're going to be just legit pirates for that night. Pirate Night was a blast. They do an early show for the kids and then a later one for children. Can go to that one as well, but it's more, I guess, adult centered. They also do fireworks on that night. Fireworks at sea. That's the Disney magic there. That's what you're paying for. So go see those fireworks and let it help you to forget about the thousands of dollars that you paid to get on that boat. They also have Broadway style shows at night. Truly, they are Broadway style. The singing, the acting, the special effects, the costumes, the dancing is fantastic. Broadway style shows. We saw Aladdin, which was my favorite. I loved Aladdin. The genie is hilarious. We saw Frozen, which was my daughter's favorite. And then the last one we saw was Believe, which is kind of like a compilation of a bunch of Disney shows, which was a really good show as well. They were probably the best that I've seen. I saw other shows like water shows and ice skating and things like that on other cruise ships. Disney's got this beat. Like they pulled out all the stops and it was great. Aside from that, they have a movie theater with some of the latest movies. Like sometimes they're playing things that just released in theater. So when we went, it was around the time that Avatar was released. So we saw that. I didn't see it all because it's long. Like Avatar, 3 hours. But one day when my kids were at the kids club, we just went in and saw a little bit of it. They have Black Panther playing. So it's usually something recent that's on. But they also play older movies as well. By the pool, they have a big screen that's always playing a Disney movie. They also have bars throughout, so whenever you need a drink, you can get one. They have, Midship Mystery. This was a pleasant surprise for us. So Midship Mystery is pretty much a mystery case game that you play throughout the ship. You get a special card, and they have these little stations all throughout the cruise ship. So on a sea day, my kids and I, we started this game and I got really into it. Like I wanted to know who was the villain that stole a painting. They have different ones that you can choose. We got the stolen painting one. So we were up and down all the decks. They send you to different places to try and crack the case. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I got into it. And since I have 2 kids, I had 2 different mysteries to solve at the same time. Yay me! But it was so much fun. And the thing I like about it is it's exercise for the kids. You get them out and doing something. It's exercise for me. We took the steps a lot because the elevators, they can be kind of busy, waiting in line. So we took the steps quite a bit. So we got a good workout in and we explored parts of the boat that we had never been to before and would never go to. We would never go to the 8th floor unless we were staying on the 8th floor, but we ended up there. They also have game shows and bingo, which bingo gets popping on a Disney cruise ship, man. So there's a lot of activities. And did I say characters? My kids met Mickey 7 times, I think. Every day we met Mickey, Minnie, Cinderella, Chip and Dale, whichever ones you want, they're on the boat. They're sailing on the boat to Western Caribbean with you. Meeting the characters and seeing them so frequently everywhere we looked was so special. For my daughter especially, she's a big princess lover. So she met all of the princesses. She got pictures with them. And it was truly so special. She loved it. And for me, having done Disney World a few times with my kids, I would rather meet the characters on the cruise ship. I would much rather do it in an air-conditioned boat than at the hot part in the rain in Florida. Do you know what I mean? The lines are not that long, usually, especially if you look on the app and try and get there just a few minutes before the actual character arrives and join the queue. Hey, you're gonna meet Mickey in 5 minutes. And it's a true interaction. It's not they're just take your picture and go. He interacted with my kids. My son taught him a secret handshake. My daughter and Minnie had a moment, you know what I mean? So for me, the character interactions on the cruise ship were far better than the parks. It exceeded my expectation. And I feel now was the time to do it because my kids are still young. Once they're older, they may want to go on a different cruise line that has different activities. But for right now, to meet those characters at the young age that they are, it was truly special. And I'm so glad that we did it. Since this was our first Disney cruise, I did not know about a photo package. I had to actually research this quite a bit. I was initially going to do the 20 photo pass package, but people were do the unlimited, do the unlimited, do the unlimited. I'm how many pictures am I really gonna take? How many lines am I really gonna stand in? Why would I need unlimited? You need unlimited. We ended up selecting unlimited just a few days before embarkment day because you have to if you want the special rate, the reduced rate, which isn't reduced by much, but it's $100 less for unlimited, I think. You have to choose it before the embarkment date or a few days before. So we chose it, feeling it would be an utter waste of money, but then we were so glad that we did. We had about 300 pictures over a course of 7 days. These were not pictures that were highly sought after. These were not pictures that we waited in ridiculous lines to get. The photographers are always around. They come to dinner. They take pictures of you in the random places, Castaway Key, they're there. You're swimming in the water, you want a picture with a starfish? Hey, they come into the water. The photographers come into the water and take that picture for you. If you want someone else to take a family picture of you, it's worth it. We have so many beautiful photos together as a family. As a mom, I'm always the one behind the camera, never in the picture. I take a lot of pictures of my kids, a lot of pictures of my kids with my husband, but I'm very rarely in the shot. And as you can see here, I have so many beautiful memories and pictures with my kids. This was our first cruise as a family, so I wanted quality photos that will last when my kids are older and I can show them, hey, look how much you like Goofy. So it's time for that big question. Was it worth it? Was the thousands of dollars worth it? And I have to say it was. I can see why people become platinum members of Disney Cruise Line. I can see it because you want to go back. In fact, we have actually booked another cruise to sail in the summer on the Wish because I truly enjoyed my first experience. There are things on this cruise line that are just way too much money, and I know I can get at Royal or Norwegian much cheaper. But there is something special about Disney. There is some, call it pixie dust, call it magic about sailing on Disney with young children. Do I think I'll be sailing on Disney for the rest of my life? Probably not. I think their itinerary is a little bit limited. So in terms of the places that they go, it isn't, they only have, 5 boats right now? So they can only sail so many places, right? So, if you want to do more of the European side or sail the Mediterranean, you don't really have many options. They only are there for a few weeks out of the year. So for us, if it doesn't work for our schedule, we can't do Disney in the Mediterranean. So yes, there are some downsides of sailing with Disney, but for the most part, I can say it was truly worth it. It was worth the investment, I'm going to use that word, to go and have a great vacation. Seeing the smiles on my children's faces, hearing their stories, knowing that when we got back home, my children were crying because they wanted to go back on Disney Cruise Line. Here it is weeks later and they're still like, can we go on a Disney cruise? Can we go on a Disney cruise? They miss it. They miss the convenience. I know my husband, he was really impressed with the organization and the boarding process. He is usually the one when we travel that has to do the driving. I do a lot of the logistics, but he does a lot of the driving, and he loved the fact that, hey, I don't have to do anything. I can truly relax on this vacation. They think of everything for you, and the staff is phenomenal. No more so than other cruise lines, but they're really they make it their job to make sure that you're happy. And I just tip my hat off to them because they work super hard and they are really good at what they do. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe to the channel and be on the lookout for more travel content. I'm actually going to be reviewing some of our excursions from this cruise. So we did do some excursions in Jamaica and in Cozumel. So those videos will be coming up soon, so be on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, take care, guys.